Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I'm here with finals of Showdown Master Ball for the SPDA Season 1. Faced off against Permanent, did not want to face this team, wanted the other semifinalists to win on the other side of the bracket. Did not happen. We're facing Dragapult, we're facing Gliscor, we're facing Metagross. Some big threats to my team, some big problems. Gliscor especially is very good into my team. I have a Kyurem, of course, but it kind of beats everything else, it feels like. Moon loses to Fizdef. Iron Moth loses to SPDA. Swampert doesn't do that much damage, gets toxic. Same with Screamtail, even if I'm Ice Beam, unless I'm max special attack, but then I'm not taking hits very well. Manaphy can set up on me, but to be honest, I'm not that scared of it. I have Whirlwind, Scarm, I got Roar on a couple Pokemon, Encore. Got some Pokemon that are faster. I'm not that scared of Manaphy. I thought it might not even show up. Screens Grimmsnarl. I've got Brick Break for that. Metagross. It's really their only thing for Kyurem. Freeze Dry looks incredible. Spoilers, I'm Scarf Freeze Dry. And that's about it that I'm scared of. Top 6 makes sense. I'm kind of scared of Dodrio. Scarm's kind of there for it. Terrifier, I'll live 2 hits. Scarm also helps for Metagross. Let's take a look at what I brought. Something tells me going over the replay will take a while, so I'm trying to speed through this. Modest Scarf Kyurem. Enough speed for Dragapult, max speed after my Scarf. Freeze Dry, pretty much the only move I'm going to click. I do have Ice Beam in case Manaphy doesn't show up, then I don't have a reason to not click Ice Beam. Earth Power in case I want to try and predict Metagross switching in, I don't. And Flash Cannon for the 2 fairy types, again, don't really think I'll be clicking those moves. I did have Draco for a while, but I figured having Earth Power I was more likely to click that than Draco. Just Scarf Draco is not going to do enough damage to Gliscor. Um, and there's also 2 fairy types and a steel type. Next up, funny little set, Sticky Barb, Trick, Screamtail. This was recommended to me by Sweets. I'm sure he's watching. Um, Supposed to weaken down Metagross for the Kyurem win. Screamtail pretty much baits in Metagross or even Gliscor. If I trick Gliscor, take its Toxic Orb before it's activated, that'd be nice. Then I have a Toxic Orb I can trick onto something else, maybe? I don't know. But hopefully trick Sticky Barb onto the Metagross to weaken it for Kyurem. I've got Flamethrower to hit Metagross to do a little more damage. Dazzling Gleam um, for Dragapult and also just Stab does a little more to Grimmsnarl, a lot more to Grimmsnarl, and then Ice Beam so that Gliscor doesn't spike stack on me. Next up, Scarm. Max HP, leftovers, pretty much max HP. Enough defense to live 2 Terra Blast Fires from Dodrio, and then the rest in SPDA. And Brave Bird so I can touch Dragapult. Spikes, Roost, and Whirlwind for setup Manaphy, but also set up anything really. SD Gliscor, that sort of thing. Next up, Swampert. I got Damp in case their Explosion on Metagross. Lumberry helps me against Gliscor and um, the bird, Pheasantipity. Also, Pult if they have uh, status. Special does a little more damage into Metagross. Ice Beam does a lot more to Gliscor. Definitely have to watch out for Take Heart Manaphy though. Although they have Energy Ball, I'm probably switching out. Earth Power, Ice Beam, Knockoff, Flip Turn. That's the set. Next up, Roaring Moon. This is my lead. Um, Pretty much always. It's supposed to beat Grimmsnarl and prevent screens from going up by Iron Head, turn 1 on their Reflect, and then Brick Break. 2 Brick Breaks will kill, assuming they're SPDA for Kyurem. If they're FizzDef, bit of a different story. I'll live a Spirit Break, again assuming they're SPDA. And I have Taunt, just in case for Gliscor. If they want to lead that, then I'm thinking maybe I'll knock off their Toxic Orb, but they should respect that, so they're either going to switch or protect. So if I lead Roaring Moon into Gliscor, I plan on going hard into Kyurem. And last up, Arboliva, fun little set that I thought of the night before the game. Harvest, Custap Berry, I know it's not that, with Endure, it's not that special, but I had Boots with Strength Sap, but I was pretty scared of Dragon Dance Dragapult with this team. So I had Endure Custap to try and help beat that Terra Poison so that I don't get toxic by Gliscor or Pheasantipity. If I'm Terra Fairy, a lot weaker into Pheasantipity, weaker to Metagross, and get Toxic by Gliscor. They can Earthquake me for a lot of damage because I'm not the Grassy Terrain ability, but I'm okay with that. That's the team. What do I expect to see? Dragapult for sure is a Dragapult. Gliscor, yeah. Manaphy, maybe, probably. Metagross for sure. Grimmsnarl, maybe. Pheasantipity, maybe. Colossal, maybe. Dodrio, maybe. I don't think Raikou has any business showing up. I have Double Dragon. It's kind of bad into Swampert as well. Lumineon, definitely not. Maybe. Decidueye Hisui comes. I just think it's kind of bad into Scarm, kind of bad into Moth. Um, it helps against Moon unless I'm Acro, but then you can Terra. I think it's a better Pokemon to bring. Colossal, it depends on how scared they are of hazards. Maybe if they want to bring like a bunch of assault vests, or they just don't want to run boots on Pult or something, they'd run spin because I don't really have the best spin blockers. Uh, don't exactly want to be taking moves from Colossal on Typhlosion. What do we see? We see the Colossal and the Pheasantipity. So no Grimmsnarl, no screens, that's nice. It means maybe Pult will be screens. It's more likely now that I don't see Grimmsnarl. And no Dodrio. That's nice. So I'm always leading Roaring Moon. Let's see what we get. Pheasantipity, great lead for me. I was very happy with this. I'm going to click Iron Head. They don't kill me with Play Rough or Moonblast unless they're adamant Play Rough, max attack, which I think is kind of crazy, and Moonblast won't kill me. So I click Iron Head, and I get a crit. We'll take it. Play Rough doesn't kill me, and I get poisoned. A little unfortunate, but it doesn't matter, but I got a crit, so I can't complain. Did the crit really matter? I was 2 at KOing them anyways. Maybe they were more inclined to sack this, assuming I'm spoiling it. They sacked this. Um, although a flinch, now that would have been nice. So they just sack it. It let me click knockoff this turn, which is harder for them to switch into. So I guess there's that. I'll take the crit. Definitely didn't hurt. See that they were shook a berry. That tells me that's probably one of their answers to Kyurem. Um, so maybe this Metagross set will be something different. Dragapult comes in, kills me. No surprises here. I go into Screamtail. I decided this was a good opportunity to click Trick. I can't really switch in Screamtail ever because then I'll take the Sticky Barb and my opponent will see that and maybe they can plan around it. So I really need to switch in Screamtail after something dies. And I figured this was a good exchange. I don't think Dragapult wants to stay in here. Shadow Ball does not do that much damage to me. And they don't want to take a Fairy move or Encore or something. So I thought, okay, Metagross somewhat seems like a likely switch in. So I click Trick. They end up just staying in to Thunder Wave. I do get the trick off, and they take the Sticky Barb. I see that they were Sash. So they're probably not Dragon Dance, I'm thinking. That's good at least. That helps our Balava a little bit. So I decide to click, I think, Dazzle or Ice Beam here in case they want to go Gliscor. We'll also be able to see what the Manaphy and Metagross are. Figured they want to switch. Yeah, they do. If they just wanted to click Hex there and do a lot of damage to my Screamtail, it would not have killed. One, because I have Sash, but also just it wouldn't kill. Even if they crit, then the Sash would matter. Anyways, we see the Ice Beam does 5%. This thing's Assault Vest. Max HP Assault Vest, probably max attack. That's what I'm expecting. So they Meteor Mash. They had to be Meteor Mash this game because Heavy Slam is really weak into Kyurem. It's base 40 power. Same with into Roaring Moon. So Meteor Mash was a good bring for my opponent. That tells me their max attack based on that damage. And I can get some Flamethrower chip. That's fantastic, helping to put it in range of Kyurem. Although Kyurem's freeze dry does about 11 to 13%. So I'm going to need a lot of chip. I do know this thing's Assault Vest though, so I want to prioritize getting up spikes. Although Colossal can just spin those away. I decide Screamtail might be nice to save as a sack. So I just go Scarm. Figures there's not much Metagross can do to me. I know they're Assault Vest, so I know they're not setting up rocks. That's really nice. Scarm comes in. On Meteor Mash, they miss. I wish I was Helmet. I'm leftovers, which might be helpful in other situations, but being Helmet to chip down this Metagross would have been fantastic. They missed that, so they don't know if I'm Helmet, which in their point of view might be good for them. They don't take extra Helmet chip. So I decide to click Spike, and they are Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam Metagross in finals. Where have I seen that before? This Meteor Beam should not be doing that much to me. I'm just going to roost it off. I'm hoping this is not a speed type. It is not. We do have the same base speed. I'm not running any speed. I'm just hoping they have a little bit of speed, trying to be faster than me. And it seems like they do, unless they just keep winning speed ties. This turn, I realize Meteor Beam is probably the only thing that can hit me with. Also, they click Meteor Beam without Power Herb. They're just Meteor Beam on an Assault Vest set. That's pretty cool. So I Whirlwind. I figured if they Meteor Beam, then they don't get anything out of the turn. I get their special attack gone, their special attack boost. So I click Whirlwind here. It's a Psychic Noise. A little unfortunate. I don't get my leftovers, and I can't Roost if I wanted to. I do just Whirlwind though. We see the Colossal come in. Pretty unfortunate. I wanted to see Manaphy come in, see if their boots get some chip on them. Maybe just keep spamming Whirlwind. This thing coming in pretty much gives them a free spin. Dragon Bolt coming in would have been fine too. Good thing Glass Core didn't come in though. That gives them Stealth Rocks, and I don't want those to go up quite yet. We do see that this Colossal is not Boots. That's good to know. I was a little scared of Terra Grass, Power Herb, Solar Beam, so I was a little hesitant going Swampert here, but I still did. We see Terra Water. That's nice. Tells me they're not Terra Blast Grass at least. If they want to hit me with um, Solar Beam, then they have to be Meteor or Power Herb. So I'm gonna knock off just in case they're that set. I was really scared of that for some reason. I knock off. Flame Body activates, but I do have Lump Berry, so a little unfortunate that that activates, but not the end of the world. We see Assault Vest, so fantastic getting that knocked off. Now they're dying to Freeze Dry from Kyurem. That's great. So that is now 1, 2, 3 Pokemon dead to Freeze Dry from Kyurem. I just need to make sure things aren't getting speed boosts like Agility Gliscor. I need to make sure things aren't getting special defense boosts like Take Heart Manaphy. And I also need a bit of chip on Manaphy, about 25%. And Metagross needs to pretty much die. And then Scarf Freeze Dry just wins the game. That's what I'm going for. I'm also considering from this point already, what if it's Yachi Berry on Manaphy? So they take about 40% from um, Freeze Dry. That's okay. I'm living in a learning voice unless they're boosted. So Freeze Dry was always going to 2 KO Manaphy. I just need to make sure I don't take too much chip. And I don't let them take heart so that a learning voice will kill me. So Assault Vest is gone. They get the spikes off. Pretty unfortunate. I know this Metagross is Assault Vest, so every time this thing switches in, it takes 12% from Spike. Is fantastic. I really want to try and keep a Spike up, but it's going to be hard because their spinner beats my Spiker. In hindsight, there's a world where maybe Carbink was a better Spiker this game, although um, I really wanted Terra on Arboliva, so having to Terra Carbink to not lose to Metagross would be pretty unfortunate. Although, I keep saying although, it's my favorite word. Carbink, pretty good into Dragapult, even without Terra. I'd probably bring Terra Poison for Toxics. Maybe Terra Ghost to Spin Block. I don't know. You click Body Press. I click Earth Power. They go Glass Core on my Earth Power. I figured this was a reasonable play for them to make, but I was fine to just click Earth or to click Ice Beam the next turn. Because as much as I don't need chip on this Glass Core for Kyurem, I want to make sure I'm not giving it free turns to set up hazards or set up Swords Dances or Agilities. And getting it in range of our Boliva's Energy Ball is pretty nice, which an Ice Beam should do, assuming they're max PDF. So they get up rocks. A little unfortunate for me, and I Ice Beam. They are pretty much max PDF, which means as long as they're not getting too many Toxic Heals, they should die to Energy Ball from our Boliva. They U-turn as I flip turn here. This is fantastic for me. Great position to be in, and I get chip on Manaphy. That's good. It tells me they have some HP. They could be max HP, but they have some at least. I go into Arbalova because I'm figuring they probably don't want to take an energy ball. From this point, I was feeling very good. I knew I needed a lot of chip on Metagross, but once that happens, I should win the game. Because Freeze Dry, as I said, Manaphy can't kill me, and I 2-hit KO it. So as long as it doesn't get boosts, and I don't switch in on it, we're good. I kill Gliscor, I kill Dragapult, I kill Colossal. So don't let Manaphy set up, which is what Arbalova is doing here, and um, chip down Metagross, which Arbalova is also going to lure in. So from this point, we're looking really good. They do go Metagross on my Energy Ball. I Terra Poison because I did not want to take an Ice Beam. It would have done about 50%, which is fine, and I would have killed them back, depending on their set. They could have lived if they have some more HP than I expect. But this is a good spot, so I Terra, which I know they have Psychic Noise, which I'm actually happy that I Terra here. I know I'm weak to Psychic Noise, which to me, in the moment, I was thinking, this makes them want to click Psychic Noise more now that they see it's super effective. So I'm going to stay in and click Earth Power. They do about 42%, which is fine. I Earth Power, take them down to 10%. Fantastic. They're dead to Spike now. I just need to Spike up, and I win the game. Getting some higher rolls and this thing dying would have been nice, and not having to worry about getting that Spike up, although a Spike would be nice. Very interesting set. A similar set that I've actually brought to finals before. I'm expecting Bullet Punch last move, so probably not Trailblaze for Swampert. Um, and probably not a move to really hit Skarmory at all. I do want to save this Pokemon, so I go Streamtail to sack it. Because I'm in Durka Step and having that in the back for Manaphy is going to be nice. Even though they do have Bullet Punch, which is going to go before Custep, so I have to watch out for that. I go Screamtail as they go Manaphy, and I get Parrot. I clicked Ice Beam there. Um, even though it would have done 5-6%, that's chip. That might matter. So a little unfortunate getting Parrot, and I know it would have done 5 or 6%. Doesn't sound like that it's that big of a deal. But depending on this thing's set, Freeze Dry could be a roll to kill. So if this thing gets a Tail Glow boost and is able to kill me after I don't kill with Freeze Dry, that's kind of unfortunate. So I really want to get as much chip on this Manaphy as I can. So I do die, but I want to switch here. I don't want to give them free setups with Screamtail, so I switch into Skarmory as they Tail Glow. If they click Take Heart, I'm usually Living Surf. And if they click Tail Glow like they did, I'm fine. I don't care about them getting Split F boosts. I can just go back into Screamtail after, knowing that they're not Take Heart, unless they're Tail Glow Take Heart, which that would be a crazy set. I sack Screamtail, and I can go Arbalova and click Endure. And then I get my Custap Berry, but they switch. They expect it, which, you know what, fair enough. It's a pretty obvious set. Um, you don't see Seed Sower. I clicked Endure. You know I'm a berry, seeing as I'm Harvest, but I'm not Citrus Berry. So, and I'm not a low health berry, so what am I? I'm going to be Custap Berry. They go Metagross, makes sense. To Bullet Punch me, I click Endure because I didn't get my berry back quite yet. They Psychic Noise, and I get my berry back here. I click Earth Power, or actually I click Energy Ball to kill them because it does more to everything, except Dragapult, but I'm not worried about that. I figured maybe if anything, Manaphy comes in and do more damage, fantastic. Energy Ball always kills Metagross anyways. Do they have Bullet Punch? I get my Custap Berry, but yeah, they're Bullet Punch last. Makes sense. I go Scarm. This is my opportunity to get a Spike up. They can't really do anything to me. I get a Spike. I can Brave Bird and kill them. They're probably just going to go Colossal and spin, but I'm figuring I can Spike. Uh, my leftovers is healing me more than their Rapid Spin is doing, so I should be able to keep my Spike up. They go Colossal as I Spike. I click Roost here because Flamethrower could kill me as they, surprise, Rapid Spin. Back to full. I click Spike again. They Flamethrower. I click Roost to get out of range of the next Flamethrower just in case they click it. and they rapid spin. At this point, I figured that um, they're probably faster now that they're +2 speed, but I end up being faster than the flamethrower. I didn't see this turn, as unprofessional as that sounded. I thought they were faster on this next turn. You probably don't like the tone of my voice, and there's a reason for that, you'll see. I thought they'd be faster, so I clicked spike again. I thought they were going to spin before me, and then I would spike after. No. Now they're faster than me. So I have no spikes up, they're faster, they can kill me with flamethrower. I really threw this scenario. They still have bullet punch, and bullet punch into Alluring Voice will kill um, Kira. And Manaphy is out of range of freeze dry, and I don't have a spike up, and I can't really get any chip on it at this point. So I'm gonna have to crit Manaphy. I go Swampert on their flamethrower, seeing as they probably want to kill me. I'm out of range of body press even after rocks. They rapid spin as I earth power, and they can kill me with body press, but they don't. They rapid spin again, and I earth power. This was fantastic for me. They go Manaphy to try and set up. So this is the scenario where I thought I was winning. Or, spoilers. Um, Manaphy's in. I'm assuming they're Yachi. They're going to click Tail Glow, think they live Kiram. I will knock off, do some damage. I do 22%, take them down to 68. Knock off their mental herb, so they were scared of Encore. And now they can kill me here. And I go Kiram, and Freeze Dry should be killing. And then I win the game. Just kidding. They lived. Alluring Voice kills me, and then Skarm also goes down. So we lose, unfortunately. Um, Big misplay with that Skarm. I don't know if it actually would have mattered. I think they would have been able to keep off spikes because they have more spins than I have spikes. Um, if I was Helmet, different story. They couldn't spin forever um, because that Helmet would be doing too much damage to them. But also leftovers kept me out of range of Manaphy at some point in the game. It was definitely valuable to have leftovers. Helmet could have been a different net game here. So yeah, clicking spike this turn, big throw. But I don't know if it actually mattered. But then my opponent here, I thought I won the game when they didn't kill me with Colossal. Because I thought Colossal kills me, now I have to bring in Kirib and hope I win. And then Manaphy comes in, they're Yachi, I don't kill anyways, I have to crit or freeze. So from this point, I thought I win. Um, I get Manaphy in range of Kirim. We're good. Also, Earth Power would have done 4 more percent than knockoff, although I think that was a high roll on knockoff actually. Um, Let me take a look, hold on. Alright, so I am using my opponent's spread that we see here. A lot more SPDF than I would have liked. Oops, I don't want to do that. Hold on. This is my opponent's spread. Quite a bit of HP, quite a bit of SPDF. Not a lot of special attack. Makes sense. So knockoff was on the higher end. Um, and if I got a similarly high end roll on Earth Power, if I clicked that instead, especially if I get a SPDF drop, it would have been fine. They would have been in range of Kirim. Because they lived in 4, Earth Power, on average, is doing 4 more percent. But I was scared of them being Yachi Berry or like something like Custap, or Salak. So I wanted to knock off, and I think that was the right play still. They happened to just be Mental Herb instead. So we lose. Pretty big throw on Skarm by me probably. Rocky Helmet would have been nice. I will say we got pretty lucky turn 1 with the crit. I still would have 2-hit KO'd, but they could have gone Colossal maybe instead of just sacking um, Pheasantipity. And then the para, wherever it was, how I was saying every little bit of chip on Manaphy matters. Ice Beam would have done 6%, would have died to Earth Power. So that pair is unfortunate, but also I let myself get parried by Dragapult. Maybe that wasn't the right time to click Trick. Let's take a look at what happened there. So Dragapult kills Roaring Moon. What are my other options here? Go Scarm and click Spike and like sack it pretty much. Go Kyurem and threaten it out with Freeze Dry. I think maybe click like Earth Power on Kyurem with a prediction. But they were also Sash Pult, as we'll see. We'll look at their sets for everything in a second. So they probably would have clicked Dragon Darts or Thunder Wave on me as their Sash. So I don't think Kyurem was the right play. But I wasn't considering Sash at this point, to be honest, especially because it didn't lead it. Probably could have gone Swampert and click Knockoff, seeing as I'm Lumberry, so I'm not worried about this thing being wisped too much. In hindsight, maybe going Swampert instead of Screamtail there was the right play. So Manaphy, who I always call a fraud, and I don't think it's that good, ends up beating us 3-0, but very close game. 4% away from winning the game with Scarf Freeze Dry Hero. If I could have kept that spike up, would have gotten the Ice Beam off. Would have been nice, but I did get a higher roll on knockoff, so I can't be too upset. I'm not upset. I think we both played very well, both brought very good teams. I think matchup-wise, I probably had a better matchup than they did just because of Kyurem Freeze Dry. I think they brought the teams that they needed to um, avoid that Freeze Dry weakness with Shuka, Pheasantipity, Metagross, Sash Pult, and Spidef. Well, I guess I kill you anyways, but helps for Draco if I have that, which I didn't. And I think Colossal was a very good idea for my opponent to bring. Didn't face it very much in mocks, but it won them the game here. If I had one more spike up, if I or that spike that I clicked the first time, if that stayed up, I won the game. Yeah, right here. That spike won me the game if they never had Colossal. If this was something else, I don't think it would have amounted to much. They probably was just something else that would die to Freeze Dry. Um, like this thing's getting 2-hit KO'd by Freeze Dry. You can have to Terra Fire. Let's take a look at what my opponent had. As you'll see, much more intricate EVs than me. Max HP, some speed. Um, I used to build a lot like this. I remember my first ever draft game with Dragapult. It had EVs in all 6 stats, and they all meant something. I don't build like that anymore. But it's a good idea, even if it's just so that you know the interactions. It gets your mind in the game of what this Pokemon's supposed to take and what it's supposed to do in the game. Dragapult Sash, Thunder Wave Hex, Darts Infestation. Supposed to beat Screamtail, I'm guessing. Good set. Colossal, quite a bit of defense, some special attack, maybe so Flamethrower. Oko's like max defense Scarm. I don't know. Rapid Spin, Stone Edge, Flamethrower, Body Press. Stone Edge so that you're not walled by Iron Moth. Makes sense. And then Relax so that they're min speed, which is why I thought I would be faster. I didn't consider min speed. Pheasantipity, SD, Roost 2 attacks. I think that's the right set. I don't think there's any other good Pheasantipity set this game. It kind of just doesn't do anything into Scarm, which this also doesn't, and it's also pretty bad into Iron Moth. But it's pretty nice for Kyurem. You can set up on it and then kill it. Glasscore Max Bedef, just get up rocks, click Toxic on something, and high horsepower, you turn their high horsepower for our ball of a grassy terrain. Manaphy, way more Spadef than I wish it was. Just a little bit more special attack and I would have killed them, but good bring. Mental Herb for Encore, Tail Glow, 3 attacks. The 3 attacks that I expected, I didn't think they would be Ice Beam. I think you need a Learning Voice for Kyurem and Energy Ball for Swampert. And then finally, the Metagross. Um, not nearly as much attack as I thought they were. Let me take a look. Alright, so this turn, they did 80% with Meteor Mash, which makes sense. A higher roll with the set they had. It made me think they were max attack adamant, and then they got a lower roll. That was not the case, though. It didn't actually matter for anything. Um, it meant I died to a turn of rocks, which I actually wanted to, um, which was nice. Where were we? We're looking at 13. Metagross, um, quite a bit of speed. For I couldn't tell you. What do I have? Max speed Swampert maybe? Fast Swampert of some sort? It's definitely not max speed. Max speed Swampert would be faster, but faster than a lot of Swamperts. Or maybe Kyurem of some sort. Cool set. Reminds me of the set I brought to another finals game, which I also won. So turns out weird Metagross with Meteor Beam and Bullet Punch. It's pretty good. So that's our season. That's our season for both Mafia and Master Ball over. One loss in semis, one loss in finals. At least we made playoffs for both. We'll take it. Mafia, I was never supposed to do good. It was my fun team where I drafted electric terrain lower tier with 3 electric types, and my water resist was a Swanna. Pretty happy with how I did in that league. Very happy with how I did in this league. It's a higher skill league, Master Ball. That's what I knew going in, that I probably wasn't going to have as good of a season as I did in Ultra Ball. And hey, I almost had as good of a season. One more or 2 more losses. I went 10-1 in Ultra Ball, including playoffs, and then here I went, what is it, 8-3? Yeah. Let's talk about the team I drafted. I'm not going to do a tier list because that takes too long. Kyurem, pretty good. Iron Moth, pretty good. Skarm, it's what you expect. Skarm, or Screamtail, pretty good. This guy sucks. Conkeldurr, shouldn't have drafted him. I remember for my 5th Pokemon during the draft, I wanted Quaquaval so bad. I wanted a rock resist because I'm so rock weak, and I wanted hazard removal because I'm weak to stealth rocks. And Quaquaval fit that. I wanted the water type too, but someone took it. So I was so panicked about filling those roles that I got Conkeldurr. This guy is not good hazard removal, especially if it's your only hazard removal. Wouldn't draft him again. Swampert, fantastic. Probably the Pokemon I'm looking forward to drafting again the most. Banded Swampert was awesome. Lumberry, Assault Vest. This guy's great. Roaring Moon, way better than people give it credit for. Um, Roaring Mid is not true. This guy is so good. Scarf Moon's probably the favorite set that I brought. I don't think I ever got a Dragon Dance sweep because I think that's what people prepare for. But I think Scarf Moon late game, if you can eliminate that Steel type and click Outrage, or that Fairy type and click Outrage, it's really strong. Great coverage, Iron Head, Earthquake. It has the Fang moves. Those are so weak. Don't use them. Like, probably the best knockoff user in draft. Maybe that's giving it too much credit, but it's good. I got a lot of knockoff on this team. A lot of good knockoff users, I'll say. Terra Arboliva didn't make the best use of it, but it was pretty good in finals. This thing never got a kill. We'll look at the stats in a second. But it was good. Frisk was really nice. I'm looking forward to drafting another Frisk user, but I'm not in a rush to draft this again. Carbank still never lost with him. I brought him to 6 games across 2 leagues, and he has never lost. Maybe I should have brought him to finals. Wouldn't have lost then. Who knows? I'll draft Carbank again someday, but I've already drafted it twice. I'll try another Iron Defense Body Press guy next, like Reggie Steel or Reggie Rock. I don't know. That's the team we drafted. Let me pull up some stats. So here's my new and improved stat sheet from all the leagues I've ever been in. Thank you, Kaz, for providing that for me. Here's Mafia. I'm sure if you're watching this, you are also watching that. Big Thorns, 14 kills. Nice. Swanna, 11 kills. We'll take it. But here, let me zoom in a little bit, was our team. Playoff seed 2, we were the runner-up. Um, all the games I played. That finals game was only 39 turns. I thought it was way more. It felt like a lot. It was well over an hour. I think it was an hour 10, hour 15 minutes, mostly because of me. I take a long time on my turns. 11 kills on Kyurem, 10 kills on Moon, Screamtail, and Swampert also doing pretty good. Overall, pretty happy with the team. I think it was a somewhat unbalanced team. That big speed gap from 95 down to 70 was a little questionable. and hazard removal in Conkel, they're also not great. But otherwise, I think it was very defensively sound. I think Swampert plus Screamtail was like great defensive core that especially was shown in week 1 against Weary. Skyrim was great too. Roaring Moon plus Kirim as a core, like a dragon offensive core, was awesome. Really liked Iron Moth too. Um, Booster speed, booster special attack with agility. I brought that T-Spikes U-turn whirlwind set once. That was it worked, but definitely not the best set on it. Screamtail, very versatile, very fun. Don't know if I'll draft it in the near future though. I think there's a lot of somewhat similar Pokemon. Like I think Hatterene would be cool. I think Gardevoir would be cool to use. Even Sylveon. I'm not really a Sylveon believer, but maybe I'll try it. Let's look at all-time kills. Um, Terapagos in the league I'm in right now, the BHA. 20 kills in 8 games. That's not including playoffs, which are coming up in a week or two. By far my kill leader already. This thing's good. Draft it. Unironically a top 10 Pokemon in Polydex. Flamigo, he's still holding in there. 14 kills. He's only going to be moving down. I don't know if I'll draft him again. I don't want to draft him and have him not do as good as he did that first season, but 14 kills. T-Tar tying him. Not T-Tar, Iron Thorns. And then, Dragapult, Darkrai, Keldeo, Necrozma, and then a bunch of other Pokemon. Roaring Moon down at 10. So highest kill leader this season, just Kyurem at 11 and Roaring Moon at 10. My kills were pretty balanced. Um, a range of 11 down to 7 for half of my team. Over half, besides Conkeldurr there here. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pokemon in that range of 4. Not bad. Screamtail getting that 6-0 definitely helped. And Swampert a couple times. Choice Band getting some kills. That was good. Of the 5 leagues I've played in so far, and I'm in a 6th right now with Terapagos here. I'm seed 1 going into playoffs. Win 2 of them. I won the first 2. And I'm struggling to win another one since, but no, it's fine. I think we've done pretty good. I don't count this one. This was a fun season where I drafted a very terrible team. And I'm doing a lot better in the next season of that league. Lost in semifinals of Mafia, lost in finals of Master Ball, but pretty happy with how I did. I think that'll do it. I've been yapping for nearly 40 minutes. Goodness, I don't know if anyone's still watching. Thank you, Kaz and Shiro, for running this stuff. Don't tell the other leagues, but you run it way better than they do. Having this sort of resource, having the automatic matchups on the other Google Sheet, um, very fantastically run, if that's a word. You know what I mean? Thank you, MSR, for running Mafia. Nope. Damn, I'm sorry, Kioma. Thank you, Kioma, for running Mafia. Thank you, MSR, for running Master Ball. You're both great commissioners. I think that's what they're called, right? Looking forward to next seasons. I'll certainly be joining. And I think that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.